Western Australia. When most people head north out of Perth, they head up the coast via Geraldton, Carnarvon, etc., or they go up through the Great Northern Highway. But there is another way north not too many people know about. Normally when I go away, I take the caravan, but on this trip, this is going to be my accommodation. This is going to be interesting. So if you're looking for a holiday that's a little bit different away from the crowds, this might be right up your alley. So while I run the intro, go down and hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it, and that'll let you know when I've uploaded another video. When we finished on the last episode, we'd arrived at our camp for the night at Kennedy Ranges. It was suggested that we use the overflow campsite at Honeycomb Gorge, and we were also told we could have a campfire as well. So while the girls set up the camp, Nathan and we went out of the park and found some firewood. So we got real lucky. We came in here to the Kennedy Ranges National Park, and you pay $8 to camp in here. There's a designated camping area. There's a volunteer in there. He'll sort you out where you can park and everything, and you pay him the money. But because we were a group of 3 cars, he suggested maybe we should go down to another place, which is what they call their overflow parking. And we'll be the only ones down there more than likely. It's got a dunny down there as well, so no queuing up for the dunny, and they've got a little barbie pit down there, so we came out to collect some firewood so we could light a bushfire tonight. Well, not a bushfire, I mean a campfire. So we've collected just a little bit of wood. Now let's get back and get tea started and get a fire going. I found a little bit of wood. That way, 178 kilometres.
This is really good footage for you.
There is nothing better than having a typical Aussie dinner of spaghetti bog, cooked at home, reheated under the stars, and sitting around a campfire in the great Australian outback, with the sounds of, well, pretty much nothing. This is why you go camping, and if you're lucky, the night show is amazing. we were here about 250 million years ago, we'd be all under the ocean. They say that the Kennedy Ranges are pretty spectacular, so that's the reason why we stopped here for the night. The ranges were formed a very long time ago when this was all underwater. Rocks and sediment were dumped here and then compressed, and as the seas receded, wind and rain, erosion, together with earthquakes pushing and pulling at the land, forming what we have today. There are plenty of walks around through the Kennedy Ranges, so just make sure you take plenty of water with you and be aware of your capabilities. For this reason, we'll be doing mostly the easy walks. We're walking into Honeycomb Gorge at the moment, and during the wet season there'd be some amazing waterfalls around here, but it's dry at the moment. But just walking in, you just can hear the wind through the trees, but it sounds like there's water coming down somewhere, but I'm sure it's just the wind. Aborigines have lived around here for about 20,000 years, and the mountains hold great spiritual importance to them. They believe the area is guarded by spirits of the rainbow serpent that lives in the waterholes. Here we are in this ancient land, created millions of years ago. The water came over the rocks, it has flowed on through the plains and created this little area they call Honeycomb Gorge. You'll also find through here ancient fossils of animals that no longer exist, and even today you'll still see kangaroos and rock wallabies. Isn't it bleeming marvellous? The first white man known to see the mountains was explorer Francis Gregory on the 12th of May 1858. Gregory wrote an entry in his diary.
As we drew towards our evening bivouac, the river entered a gorge formed by the river cutting through the south end of the flat-top sandstone range of about 1,200 feet elevation above the sea, presenting many bold and picturesque faces. To this we gave the name of the Kennedy Ranges, in honour of our present governor.
So this time we're walking into Drapers Gorge. It's a class 4 walk. Class 5 is the most difficult. So it's fairly full on, this one. So they say anything between 40 minutes and 3 hours to go in and out. So we'll go in and see what it's like and how we go with it. It is important though, when you're doing these walks, again, like I said before, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you've got plenty of water with you and that you're wearing the correct footwear. What? They're my hiking thongs. Now see, if she had been wearing proper hiking thongs, she might not have slipped. Within the park there are a number of walking tracks to some amazing lookouts. If you're a plant person, there are 400 different species of plants in the park and a heap of different species of animals here as well.
Yeah. So close to the ocean. You're not like, I know, but it feels like I am. Right wrong with it, I'm beautiful.
Oh, very good.
Halfway in, 3 of the group dropped out, and 3 of us continued on.
Yeah, it is for some people. It's a wildebeest.
That's a crow.
Oh, it's waiting for us.
And what was all that effort for? Well,
What's that sign say, Melanie? End of the trail. Woohoo! Right there, Dad. High five. High five, invisible Dad.
then it was time to head out again. Kaka! Kaka!
Wait. I think we've established that kaka, kaka, and tuki, tuki don't work. Right.
Wait. Alright, so it's Honeycomb Gorge. I can highly recommend coming out here and stopping for the night. The proper campsite is Attenbough Gorge, is about 20 minutes walk around that way. But because we were a bit of a bigger group, they suggested we come around here, which was great. We had a nice bonfire to ourselves, and we stuck the cars in a bit of a circle, create a bit of a wind barrier, because there's not too many trees out here, so there's not a lot to stop the wind as it's blowing through. Where at the other one, there's a lot more trees over there, so you've got a bit more protection. But waking up to this view this morning, absolutely brilliant. So I can highly recommend, if you're thinking of coming out here, staying here for the night, and see if you can get this campsite. This is a real good one. Anyway, we're going to head off and see what else there is to offer. From here we'll continue north for a little bit before leaving the Woolwagon Pathway and meeting up with the Kingsford Smith Pathway. People know Kingsford Smith for his flying achievements, but very few people knew that in 1924 he started a trucking company out of Carnarvon. Smith thought with his mechanical knowledge and the new damn-fangled technology of motorised transport, he could replace the camel trains and horse-drawn carriages on the freight runs inland. If everything went right for him, he figured he could finance his next attempt to be the first person to fly across the Pacific. Gascoyne Transport won the contract to do the mail run from Carnarvon out to the goldfields near Mount Augustus, then on to Meekatharra. Gascoyne Transport operated till the 1950s, when it was bought out by Wesfarmers, and then in the mid-1990s it was merged into Wesfarmers. With the land being generally pretty flat, when it rains it forms many creeks that you have to cross. At this time of the year, they're usually not much of a problem, but during the rainy season, these creeks could be deep enough to stop you in your tracks. In fact, some of these roads were still closed just a few weeks before we started this trip. About 715 metres tall, about 900 million years old, and it's 2.5 times the size of Earth's rock. They do say it's the world's biggest rock. Some people go, well, it's not really the world's biggest rock because they reckon it's made up of about 2 or 3 layers of rock. But that's the difference between tomato and tomato, because to me, it's still one hell of a mighty big rock. It's taken us a bit longer than we thought it would, but we finally made it to Mount Augustus. We're going to be staying for the next couple of nights at the Mount Augustus Caravan Park. So if you want to see if we climb Mount Augustus or die trying, then you'll have to wait until the next episode. So if you like what you saw, then hit the thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you don't miss the next episode. These trips are completely self-funded, so if you'd like to contribute to the production of these videos, there's a link to my Patreon page in the description. As they say, you can buy me a cup of coffee to help me fund the channel. So till next time, happy travels!